Despicable Me 4 is now the sixth film into one of the most successful animated franchise from a business perspective of all time. This is the first Despicable Me movie since 2017's Despicable Me 3, following two Minions prequel movies that also happened in the franchise. In this film, we get back our crew, Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, Lucy, voiced by Kristen Wiig. And we also have the group of kids, including returning cast member Miranda Cosgrove as the eldest of the children, Margot. In this movie, Gru and Lucy are trying to avoid the villainous Maxime, who's played by Will Ferrell, and his wife Valentina, voiced by Sofia Vergara, who are after him after they went to school together back in high school. So Gru has to move the whole family into a new suburban area where they also meet Poppy Prescott, who's voiced by Joey King, who's trying to become a villain of her own. Obviously, the Minions are back in this movie as well. The film is an hour and 35 minutes and is PG. Welcome back to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications to get updated on my latest videos. I do movie, TV show reviews, movie rankings, a box office show every single Tuesday, and out of theater reactions right after I get out of theater to tell you my quick 1-minute thoughts on a movie. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your thoughts on Illumination and the Despicable Me franchise? Should they make more? Do you want to see more Minions movies, more than main franchise films? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So coming in, I am someone who defends this franchise. None of these movies for me are top tier animated classics or movies that I just rewatch every year. I have seen every movie in this franchise at least 2 or 3 times. So I have seen this franchise a lot. I've grown up with this franchise. It is crazy to think that the first film came out all the way back in 2010. And here we are 14 years later and multiple movies with $1 billion. It's a mega franchise for Universal. And here we are. So I was 8 years old when I was in the theater for the first one, and here I am, 22 now, watching the newest entry. So let's get into my thoughts on Despicable Me 4. And overall, there's not too much to say for me. This feels like the ultimate money grab of an IP that I've seen this year, because I like this franchise. But we have gone so far away. So I think was the heart and soul of at least the first 2 films in the franchise, which was Gru as this father of these adopted children, which was really the heart and soul of the first movie, which was going from the ultimate villain to the ultimate good guy of being a father. And after the first one, even as a kid, I said, there's probably not a lot to do because Gru as a villain became good guy. Now Gru has to remain a good guy moving forward. From a story perspective, this movie just lacks all of the heart that the earliest entries of the franchise garner. Because the movie has to have tons of minions in them, because that's what's selling toys and tickets these days, especially they're both their movies in $1 billion or near $1 billion films. They are just kind of feel like more distractions than actual necessities to the actual plot of the film. In the first one, they weren't the most necessary, but they were a cool little element of the movie. But since that first film, they've kind of been overexposed, including having 2 of their own movies. And in here, it feels like it was contractually obligated to give them particular subplots, which have really nothing to do with the actual film. Now, I think the best part about this movie, more than the 2 Minions movies, is you do get the group back together. Gru as an adult, as the father. Steve Carell is still terrific as this role. Kristen Wiig also gets some things to do. She's also very fun, as always, as Lucy. The kids are always fun. These are a fun cast of characters that I have no problem sitting through a movie watching. But this movie feels at times more like a compilation of Despicable Me short films than an actual edited together complete movie, because there are so many different subplots. You have Gru and his family moving. You have a pretty big dynamic of the movie, which is Gru and his new son, who he had with Lucy. And that's a big dynamic. Then you get the addition of the kids having to move. You have the villain's plot line. And then you also have Poppy, who's an added character, and then the minions have to do stuff. There just seems like there was actually just too much going on. And I'm actually someone who actually likes the villains of the first three movies, especially the villains in 1 and 3. And I do feel like I was pumped because Will Ferrell is voicing the villain of the movie, but he just kind of seems like a throwaway villain who has to again contractually be on screen for every couple minutes to make sure that he's still in the movie. You just don't feel like Maxime is like a presence throughout the entire movie because the biggest part of the movie has nothing to do with him, which is this heist that Gru and his son and a couple minions and Poppy have to go through. Poppy's definitely an interesting new addition, but again, there just seems to be they're throwing so many different characters at you, and none of these plots stick in any way on an emotional level. I'm not asking this movie to make me cry or anything, but I wish the writers had took a little more time to put a little bit more heart added into the movie because it just feels like senseless child humor for 90 straight minutes. Again, this isn't awful. The animation is very strong. The voice cast continues to be excellent in these movies. And I wasn't bored watching Despicable Me 4, but compared to the first three movies, I think this is more along the lines of the Minions films more than the actual Despicable Me main franchise set of films. Again, and those aren't even great animated films. Maybe I think the first one's really good, but the next two are kind of okay, passable, watchable sequels. This one for me just didn't click. There was no stories or subplots I was that interested in. They threw too many characters and subplots thrown into the film, and the villain just had no presence in the movie. So not a lot to say. It felt more like a cash grab than an actual necessary sequel that we should be watching. And it's more for the children than it definitely is for the adults. I'm not sure what adults will take out of this movie. So overall, I'm going to give Despicable Me 4 a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 38% for the newest entry into the, 40%, I'll go 40 into the new entry into the Despicable Me franchise. Where does this movie land for you? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.